massive hours or days, months or years of meditation, achieved insights, and then passed them down the line, which were then passed down the line again to society, and that those teachings form the essence of our living principles, so to speak. And they have, to some extent, very, the only shades of it survive to this day. And the civilization has survived because of the ecosystem that was set up. Today, we have gone overly westernized. I believe that the problems that are there in the classroom are symptomatic of the issues that are confronting society. So, for example, parents, a large number of them, I'm not saying all parents, but a large number of parents are abrogating their responsibility to the children they bring into the world by leading extraordinarily busy lives, not being able to pay the attention that a child deserves, especially in the first 4 years of a child's life. Those are the
And
four
that shows
critical years.
later. When they enter their
It
classrooms,
shows
all
up.
of it
It
shows.
shows
And
up
gets very
later.
difficult for the teacher to then fix it at a later stage. But Mr.
Absolutely.
Chopra, you spoke of something which I thought was particularly interesting, which is how we're giving into the Western concept. Interestingly, a lot of people say the condition of teachers or how they're treated in the West is far better, or in a lot of countries is far better. Do you agree to that? We also have a second
Yes.
speaker who's with us. Rita Kapoor has joined us. She's the founder, director of Gyanshri School. Good morning, Ms. Rita. I'll come to you in just a bit. Yes, Mr. Chopra, go ahead.
Yes, definitely. The teacher treatment in the West and the teacher view in the West is definitely at a far higher, more respectable position. They are paid far better, they are treated far better, and they have far better say in the curriculum, for example, in how the teaching methodologies evolve. So it's a very live environment where there is constant consultation between school managements, teachers, and the administrations, be they the states or the government, central governments or state governments or local governments, as the case may be. That seems to be missing. We are increasingly, unfortunately, becoming a very up-down society. You know, there's directions coming from the up. Down the line, and unfortunately, I think throughout the world, including India, what is gone or is going very rapidly, I should say, is the ethical and standards. We have become increasingly acceptance of lies. Lies have become the truth. The truth has become lies, and that's visible through everything from the Trump phenomena down the line. Wherever you look, it's the same story. It's reflecting in the classroom. The student is indisciplined.
Yeah, interestingly, for a long time, we'd heard parents say that my child should become a doctor, should become an engineer. Teacher happened, I think, 2 decades ago, or maybe a decade ago. That surely is not being seen or heard anymore. But a lot of people have given up on wanting their children to become doctors and engineers also. That's the kind of world we're living in today. But Ms. Kapoor, good morning. I want to understand from you whether you think the teaching conditions in our country have changed the last 1 decade or so, and if you agree, in what aspect have they changed? Is it just to do with how well or underpaid teachers are, or there's an emotional and social factor to it as well?
Well, yes, the condition of teachers have changed, the job roles have changed, the demands on the teachers and expectations have gone up. Society is changing, hence the demands are also changing. But what I feel is that the readiness of the teachers to cope up with these demands or these expectations is not there. There was a time when the focus was on teaching. Now there are so many other things have cropped up. The extracurricular activities and the technology and the games and sports, mental well-being, counseling, mindfulness. Whole lot of things are emerging which need teachers' focus, but the empowerment of the teacher, the readiness of the teacher for these skills is not there. Hence, there is a blame game which has started, and of course, the receiving end is the child.
When you say readiness is not there, what do you mean, Ms. Kapoor? Because a lot of teachers have come out to complain that we were not trained to be counselors. We were not trained to give any sort of education in the domain of sports or arts and crafts. So why are we expected to do that exactly?
Yes, they are right when we talk about empowerment of the teachers or the training of the teachers. If we look back, when was the last time when the training B.Ed course was changed? Curriculum was changed. Where are the top institutes for training the teachers? Where are IITs and IIMs in education sector today? Nowhere. In the name of training of teachers, there is this 50 hours of training that CBSE has made it mandatory. But who does? How is it done? Are all teachers getting this kind of training? These are question marks. These are larger questions which we have to face. And we have to accept that teachers work in a box 6 hours by 200 days or some days. And we keep pouring in things into that, Now the robotics have to come, and the art and culture and music and dance, theatre, sports, mental wellness, and AI technology is another tsunami which has come. So where are the teachers getting ready? That's my question.
But are they really leaving the schools after 6 or 7 hours of work is another question being asked. Mr. Kapoor, Mr. Chopra, Ms. Kapoor has spoken of a host of things. Do you want to comment on anything you found particularly interesting, especially with regards to this working hour criticism? It's something that teachers are once again being extremely vocal about, that we were supposed to work only for 7 hours, we're expected to be at the beck and call of parents, of the principal, even beyond working hours. How big of a problem do you think that is?
It's a massive problem, because the school system or education system per se has not evolved or is not keeping pace with the changes that my colleague has very lucidly laid out. So, I mean, for instance, in an ideal world, there is a need for dedicated psychologist, 1 or 2 people or a 3-member team, because they should be there to assist teachers and parents. More importantly, there's a huge role to play. The parents have to play, and parents need to be counseled as much as students, especially if there are issues of misbehavior or depression or any of those kinds of behaviors that cannot be expected to be the domain of the classroom teacher, whose job is to deliver a curriculum which has been targeted by the authorities, the CBSE or ISC or whichever board is applicable. Then, when it comes to extracurriculars, again, the system has to expand to provide for additional, sports coaches or teachers or so on. In an ideal world, we have shifted to a scenario where instead of, in my view, rather than give homework, classroom hours should be extended with another, maybe a part-time second shift put in place. So shift
but
one comes and teaches.
But that's also being practiced in a few schools, isn't it, Mr. Chopra? There are extracurricular periods before or after school hours.
Yes, but the tragedy or tragic comedy is that this is generally within the domain of the very expensive private schools. It's a financial game, really. Everything costs money, and unless the cash flows and financials are sound, these things don't happen. Or in government schools, budgets have to be expanded. I think she wanted to say something.
Mr. Kapoor, yes.
No, Mr. Chopra, I just wanted to say that there are 2 kinds of schools, I would say, The schools that you are talking about, I think they have everything. They match the best schools in the world, no doubt. But I think they don't count much because they are very small in numbers. We are talking here about government schools, and we are talking about private schools in rural and semi-urban state. That is where the challenge is. When we come to the extracurricular activities, schools have teachers, but they may not be sufficient. But this infrastructure is not there. The working conditions are not there. I'm talking about these schools. At the same time, the salaries of the teachers are so low, they are expected to double up for a lot of things. Apart from extracurricular activities, they are doubled up to do some government jobs also.
Even besides, they're expected to be available 24/7, and COVID has sort of furthered that entire pattern and made it a lot more difficult for teachers. So parents want the teacher available if they have one small doubt about how to go about a single homework as well. That's, I think, somewhere
yes,
become very
that is a problem, because this technology business and COVID has actually, made it compulsory for the teachers to be available, which is I feel is very unfair on the part of parents also, and teachers
Ms. Kapoor,
also. They can't.
Apart from this, a lot of teachers have spoken of how they have over the years lost the moral authority in the classrooms as well, not
Yes.
just in online mode. Do you agree?
Yes.
And do you think it's actually come down to teachers being service providers, where the client is always right mindset works?
Yes, that's very right. That's very right. The managing the discipline online and offline is a problem. Mostly it's been seen that the children sit in front of the laptop or iPad or whatever, and the camera is off, and they are doing something else. So under these circumstances, how does a teacher how is a teacher expected to maintain discipline? On top of that, children coming from economically affluent background, they are very, very, very low on resilience level. Teachers cannot say anything to them. The kind of suicides are happening on small little things. This goes on to say that the resilience among students is very low. Now, under these circumstances, how do you expect the teachers to keep discipline in the class? And the moral duties of the teachers are at a question. So
and
that's
even
what I
worse,
have to
if
say.
they're checked for things like how they dress up, what kind of
Yes,
makeup
everything.
they're wearing, which is shocking and quite problematic.
It's shocking
and that is
and quite,
happening in small pockets maybe, but indeed is happening because some people have spoken about it vocally.
See, this hybrid model that is there now, apart from especially NCR, about good 30 days we are working on hybrid model. Hybrid model is the students are working from home.
Yeah.
Now there is no discipline there, no uniform. At times the child gets up in the morning and the mother is feeding the breakfast to the child and the teacher is yelling and screaming. These are the issues I'm sure everybody is facing as parents and as teachers. We are facing. And where do we account the teacher for discipline in the classroom?
Okay, we have to wrap up. We don't have too much time. Mr. Chopra, one quick question, because we also want to address the problem. So of everything we've discussed so far, what do you think? Let's say, list for us 3 decisions that should be taken, that should be followed pan-India, across schools, private and government, that will slowly once again put teaching on the job map, wherein people are actually looking, young Indians are actually looking at this as a viable career.
It's a wish list. It's almost a dream sort of a story, because in essence you have to free up schools, indeed the education system, by just setting a very loose framework in which they have to function, a very strict watchdog to ensure that nothing untoward is happening in the school system, and leave the schools free to decide for themselves how to go about doing the job of raising these young adults. The basic is still the same. Teaching is more about character building and teaching how to think, to develop the mind. You observe any baby in the first 4 or 5 years of its life, the baby, or 5 6 years of its life, is a lateral thinker. Okay, there are no boundaries. We iron out this lateral thinking from our children by building narrow lane pathways. You can't do this, you can't do that, don't go there, don't do this, don't say this, don't say that. So all of that develops or moves into linear thinking. We have now entered the age of the artificial intelligence. I would refer to it as intelligence, generated artificially, because human beings unfortunately still are using only about 4% of their brain capacity. I mean, there's more than the trillion connections in the brain, and we just use 4% of that.
Basically, you're saying there's more than 3 things that need to be done. We're far away from that story.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you need to wrap, but this is a very deep question.
Yeah. Possibly we'll take this up on another day and take this conversation forward, because we surely as a country do need teaching to stay and remain as an aspirational career for young Indians. Very important, because it plays one of the biggest roles in shaping a child's character and what he essentially faces in life going forward. Thank you so much to both of you for joining us this morning.
May I just add one sentence for you, that people who have had experience, have been in jobs or businesses at an advanced age, should be encouraged to come into teaching as a secondary profession, even if it is part-timing it. They have a huge amount of experience and they can fill the gaps of the teaching in the teaching numbers. That's another thing that should be done.
Sure, that's a noble thought. I don't know if we are asking for too much, at least at the moment, but thank you so much. Thank you to the both of you for joining us this morning. We head into a very quick break. With that, coming right up, we shift our focus to the Biker Dadi or Dadis from Ahmedabad, because these are two sisters in their 80s and they have a very interesting story to share. You see them on our screens in these pictures. We'll be going over to them to understand more about what this adventure means for them.
This is News 18 Network. India's largest news network.
A young life from India's northeast was lost, not in a war zone or in a natural disaster, but on the streets of mainland India after standing up against racial abuse. Angel Chakma, MBA student from Tripura, succumbed to his injuries after being stabbed during a violent altercation triggered by racial slurs. His only fault was protesting when he and his younger brother were hurled racially motivated comments. Reportedly, he looked his attackers in the eye and said, "We are not Chinese, we are Indians." A simple assertion of belonging that became a tragic threshold between life and death. Uttarakhand's Chief Minister Pushkar Singh Dhami has assured of action, and 5 people have been arrested so far in the case. But the prime accused, who is reportedly from Nepal, is still on the run. Let's take a look.
कि जो जस्टिस चाहिए वो ज़रूर करेंगे। 5 आदमी अरेस्ट हुआ है और 1-2 शायद और बचा है, और उनको पकड़ने के लिए ऑलरेडी लोग भेजा भी है, और मेरे ख्याल से वो पकड़ा जाएगा। मैंने कहा किसी जगह में भी कुछ गैप नहीं होना चाहिए। उन्होंने मुझे एश्योरेंस किया है कि इन लोगों को जो जस्टिस देना है वो जस्टिस दिलाएंगे, और उनको अभी 5 आदमी को अरेस्ट किया है।
ये जो दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण इंसिडेंट हो गया है, तो इस पे पुलिस ने तत्काल कार्रवाई करते हुए उस पे जो भी इन्वॉल्व थे क्रिमिनल्स हैं, जो उनको अरेस्ट कर ली गई है। एक फरार है उसके खिलाफ पकड़ने के लिए सारा प्रयास जारी है। 25,000 रुपया के इनाम भी घोषित हो गए हैं और टीमें भी बन गया है। और ये भी मुझे बताना है कि माननीय मुख्यमंत्री जी का निर्देश है सभी डिस्ट्रिक्ट एसपीज को है कि जो भी पूर्वोत्तर राज्य के हमारे यहाँ पे रह रहे हैं या काम कर रहे हैं या पढ़ाई कर रहे हैं, जो है उनका सुरक्षा व्यवस्था को पूर्ण रूप से देख लिया जाए। दोबारा एक बार अलर्ट कराया जाएगा, और जो भी ऐसे क्रिमिनल्स हैं, जो भी कानून को अपने हाथ से लेके कानून व्यवस्था को बिगाड़ते हैं, क्रिमिनल की एक्टिविटी करते हैं, उनके खिलाफ सख्त कार्रवाई करने के लिए निर्देश दी गई है।
एंजेल चाकमा नामे ছেলেটি আপনারা সকলে অবগত আছেন, ওনাকে নৃশংসভাবে মারা হয়েছে। পরবর্তী সময় চিকিৎসাধীন অবস্থায় ও মারা গেছে। তো আমরা সেটার কঠোর শাস্তি দাবি করি, এবং আমাদের রাজ্যের মুখ্যমন্ত্রী সেই রাজ্যের মুখ্যমন্ত্রীর সঙ্গে কথা বলেছেন, এবং সেখানে 5 জনকে অ্যারেস্ট করা হয়েছে। বাকি 2 জন, যতটুকু আমি শুনেছিলাম, তারা একটি মাইনর, এখনও বয়স 18 হয়নি। রাজ্যের মুখ্যমন্ত্রী সেটা নিয়ে উনি যোগাযোগ রাখছেন। আমরা চাই যারাই দোষী, যারা কালপ্রিট, একজন সুন্দর একটা পরিবারকে ধ্বংস করে দিয়েছে এবং তাদের পরিবারের তারা মর্মাহত হয়েছে, এবং আমরা চাই সেই দোষী, যারাই দোষী, প্রত্যেকটা দোষীকে ধরে তাদের যাতে উপযুক্ত শাস্তি দেওয়া হয়, আমরা সেই কামনা রাখছি।
We're getting a breaking update in Tripura case where CNN News 18 has accessed a CCTV footage in the Tripura student death case where Angel Chakma and his brother can be seen standing in the video near the shop when 6 accused arrive and start hurling racial abuses. Let's take a look.
हम लोग आए तो हम लोग अपना बाइक से हम लोग अपना आ रहे थे हम लोग सर, तो उन लोग हम लोग को मेरे को थोड़ा पोक कर रहा था कि चिंकी उनकी मेरे को थोड़ा सा रेसिज्म कर रहा था, तो मैं थोड़ा अपने तरफ से अपने सेल्फ डिफेंस मतलब थोड़ा बोल रहा था कि भैया क्या हो गया करके उधर पे। हम लोग अपना उस समय फोन में बात कर रहा था, मैं अपना बस मैं अपना कन्फेस किया कि भैया क्या हुआ, गाली क्यों दे रहे हो। तो उनका वो प्लानिंग था क्या था वो मेरे को पता नहीं, पर उन्होंने डायरेक्ट मेरे में अटैक कर दिया उन लोग ने। तो फिर भैया आया मेरे को बचाने के लिए आया, फिर भैया को तो मेरे को कड़ा से मारा, भैया को लगा उससे, फिर भैया को उन लोगों ने चाकू मार दिया।
Joining us now is CNN News 18's Satinder Bharadwaj. Satinder, thank you for joining us. क्या आप हमें बता सकते हैं जो सीसीटीवी फुटेज हमें CNN News 18 ने एक्सेस करा है, इसके बारे में हमले से ठीक पहले व्हाट वर द मतलब क्या बता सकते हैं आप इस फुटेज के बारे में?
बिल्कुल, जो ये सीसीटीवी फुटेज अभी सामने आया ये लिकर शॉप का है। ये वही लिकर शॉप है जहाँ पे बहस हुई थी, यानी कि एंजल जो मृतक है उसके भाई का और जो अन्य जो आरोपी हैं, जो युवा थे, जो 4-5 जो आरोपी थे, उनकी जो जहाँ पे बहस हुई है लिकर शॉप पर, ये वही सीसीटीवी फुटेज है। और इस सीसीटीवी फुटेज में साफ दिख रहा है कि ये आपस में बातचीत कर रहे हैं, लेकिन वो जो बहस थी जहाँ पे ये लड़ाई छिड़ी, जो वहाँ पे किसी प्रकार का सीसीटीवी नहीं मिल रहा है, एक्सेस नहीं हुआ पुलिस को, जिस कारण वहां पे अभी तक नहीं पता चल रहा कि आखिर में कि ये बहस का कारण यही था या कुछ और। लेकिन फिलहाल ये जो सीसीटीवी फुटेज मिला है इससे साफ देखने को मिल रहा है कि ये आपस में ये लोग बहस कर रहे हैं, किसी चीज को लेकर बातचीत कर रहे हैं। और क्योंकि 9 तारीख की ये पूरा मामला था, 9 दिसंबर का ये मामला था, 17 दिन एंजल हॉस्पिटल में रहा देहरादून में, लेकिन 26 तारीख यानी कि 26 दिसंबर को उनकी डेथ हो गई थी। तो ये पूरा जो मामला ये एक रेसिस्ट कमेंट को लेकर बताया जा रहा है कि रेसिस्ट कमेंट इन छात्रों ने पहले इन दोनों भाइयों के खिलाफ किया था, और उसके बाद ये मामला बढ़ा, और मामला इतना बड़ा कि जो दूसरा पक्ष था वो भी छात्र ही बताए जा रहे हैं, जो अभी अरेस्ट भी हुए हैं, इसमें 5 और एक अभी फरार।
Welcome back. Every year we talk about marks, we talk about schools and skills kids must have. But there's one question we don't ask enough. Where do children actually learn confidence? Not from textbooks or screens, and honestly not always from classrooms either. For many children, confidence comes from falling, getting up, figuring things out with their own hands and spending time outdoors without someone constantly fixing things for them. That's where places like InMe come in. They run outdoor camps across the country where children step away from their phones, they live in groups, they try unfamiliar activities and learn how to manage fear, failure and teamwork in simple ways. So joining us this morning is a person to take that conversation forward, Ronnie Gulati, founder of InMe. He spent years working with children in outdoor settings and watching how small moments outside can quietly shape how kids grow up. Good morning, Mr. Gulati. Thank you for joining us. Mr. Gulati, tell us about the thought behind InMe. And is there a personal story here? Does it go back to your childhood days or early days where you thought that a lot more needs to be done for children, than just the time they spend in their classrooms?
Absolutely. A very good morning to you and to all our viewers. I think thank you very much for getting us on and talking about this important thing, and all the more reason in today's world when, we are so disconnected but yet so very connected. And that's where InMe plays an important role. So we've been working with children for the last 30 years now. 1996 is when we started. And yes, there is a personal story. It all started with just the love for the outdoors and being out in the nature, running around in the hills. When we were growing up in school, there were enough and more opportunities to play outdoors and be outdoors. So having, gone down the regular trail of going for an engineering degree and then doing an MBA and then
But you're also looking at a very tricky age group. So teenagers are the most notorious.
Absolutely.
They don't enjoy the best reputation as children. How do you deal with that challenge? Because with that comes the challenge of micromanaging the entire group, right?
Yes, absolutely. And that's a big task. So taking the responsibility of 40, 50 children at a time, and strangers most of the time, getting together, going out in the wilderness, staying there for 6-7 days. And most of them are just getting their bearings right of, what this world is to them, and getting outside their comfort zone of homes. So I wouldn't blame the parenting as much as the entire society today, what's available to us so easily. Without any efforts, there is overload of information, and therefore there is overload to process that information. There's no time to relax, even for the kids, be it social media, be it studies, be it, competing with, children in the school or peer group.
Or be it just coexisting, right? Outside of your house.
Exactly. I was just coming to that. Be it just being with others.
Yeah.
So, and outdoor and nature plays a very important role. It's an humbling experience. So the sooner you provide this experience to our children growing up, the faster they connect with the larger world, which is what they're supposed to. Today they're connecting with 30-story buildings. They're not supposed to be connecting with 30-story buildings or EVs or batteries and phones. They're supposed to be connecting with nature. That's the root.
Okay, so we'll talk about how you're ensuring that they connect with the nature, what those 5 or 7 days look like for these children. But before that, I want to ask you if you've seen any visible changes in any of these students, if there's a story there on top of your mind wherein someone walks into the summer camp or the experience a certain way and has opened up in so many ways that it stayed with you. Can you share any such story with us?
There are numerous such stories, and every day. So as we speak, we have about 150 children up on camps, various camps down south, up north, and going through this experience. And I would like to share 2 very small stories with you. One of my favorites is a parent calls me and tells me, I don't know what magic you guys do, but you know what, my kid, ever since he's come back from camp, he is keeping his plate away at the kitchen after finishing his meals. So that's a huge change. I've been running after his life for years, telling him that once you finish your meal, please put your plates away in the kitchen for the Didi to wash it. And he started doing that. So, everyone looks at their own take-backs. And another one was, there were 2 brothers. And, the younger one was always bullied by the elder one. And when they get back home, the elder one tells the younger one, and this the parents shared with us, on the dining table, hey, Rakesh or Rajesh, I don't remember his name, I couldn't climb the rock there, but you were so swift on the rock. It made me realize that, you are so good at things, and I thought I was the best, or I was better than you. So this better than you, who is each other, and, what role each of us play in everyone's well-being and growing up. So these are umpteen stories. Another parent, I remember, now that we're talking, another parent came up to me and said that, I saw a child standing alone at the airport. They were, as a group, going to some performance in Switzerland. There was a group of 6, 7, again, stranger group. They'd gotten together to represent India to go somewhere. And this 13-year-old kid was standing there with his bag. And this parent walks up to him and says, you're alone? He said, yeah. Oh, your parents dropped you? He said, yeah, they've dropped me and gone. Whereas the other parents are all hanging around with the children. And the parent asked him, did you go to INMI? He says, yeah, I go there every year. And then he clicked in his mind, there it goes, you know. You can
So it
seriously
explains.
see these. Yeah.
Mr. Gulati,
So-
but how are your summer camp designs any different from the summer camps that we see schools, for instance, organize? There are, schools that do it yearly, annually. There are other summer camps as well. So if you were to just simply explain to us, how do you design your summer camp schedule from scratch? What would it be?
Awesome. Yes, schools do a lot of summer camping, I would say, not just summer, even in winters or otherwise. And we work with a lot of schools. So we work with almost 200 plus schools in India. So we work with schools and we work with parents directly. Parents could sign up their children with us, or the schools could sign up the classes with us. Now, one difference that is very, very significant in what we do is the training of our instructors. So it's like running a school. You know, you have to have trained teachers who understand children. The first thing you said, that it's a very tricky age to work with, you know, these teenagers and all. So not anyone and everyone. You can't have a tourist guide to work with these children. You need people, teachers. So we spend a lot of effort and energies in training our instructors. That's one part. And second part is it's a designed curriculum. So we have our roots in psychology and behavioral sciences. It's a graded curriculum age-wise. So there is no cohort which has more than a gap of 2 years together. So a 9-year-old will not be there at a camp with a 17-year-old.
Okay. But they all follow a lot of structure, because typically back home in their regular routines, children are only limited to structured schedules and screens. So do you try and break away from that?
So there is structure to the day, that you need to get up at a particular time and have your meals at a particular time, and there are activities scheduled at a particular time. So it's not a leisurely vacation, free will vacation. No, it's not that. It's a very structured program that we push you through some challenges, take you through some experiences, and then spend some time talking about those experiences, that what did those experiences do to you as a person. And their own reflections is also amazing. What the children come out with, saying what they learned or what they experienced is also amazing. They never thought they could do it.
It's wonderful to see that parents are also slowly opening up to this kind of an experience for their children, which means they're also giving importance to the world beyond just academic advantage. Mr. Gulati, that's all the time we have, but thank you so much for sharing those lovely stories with us this morning on The Breakfast.
Pleasure to be here. Thank you very much.
All right, shifting our focus now to our persons of interest. These are two women you may have seen on your phone before you saw them on television. They're sisters from Ahmedabad in their 80s. They ride a scooter through the city traffic like it's just another day. What started as everyday bike rides is now turned into viral videos, as you see on your screens as well, and a whole lot of attention they didn't really go looking for. Let's go over to Mandakini Shah and her sister Usha Ben, better known online as Biker Dadis. No stunts or show-off moves, just two sisters going about their lives. Now watched by millions. These visuals you see on your screens have gone viral. They've taken the internet by storm. Let's go over to them to hear their story. Mandakini Shah, Usha Ben Shah joining us this morning. Namaste to both of you. Thank you for being with us. हमें सबसे पहले ये बताइए, कैसा लगा जब ये आपकी ये जो विजुअल्स, हम तस्वीरें जो चला रहे हैं अपने स्क्रीन पे, जब ये ऐसे वायरल हुई कि इतनी बातचीत चली इन तस्वीरों के आसपास?
बहुत लोग रास्ते में जब चलाती हो तब बहुत लोग खुश हो जाते हैं। बा दादी बहुत अच्छा किया। कोई कंप्लेन भी करता है, बाप घर पे बैठ जाओ
जी,
कोई वैसा ही भी बोलते हैं, पर ज्यादातर खुश होते हैं लोग। देखो अभी हमने एक कैंटीन में जाहिर किया ने, तो 1,12,000 लोग मेरे को देखा।
मंदाकिनी जी, उषा बहन आपकी बहन जो है वो मुझे दिख रही है फ्रेम में, आपका उनके साथ कैसा रिलेशनशिप है? थोड़ा अपना रिलेशनशिप उनके साथ उसके बारे में थोड़ा बताइए हमें।
हम दोनों बहन हैं। मैं बड़ी हूँ, उषा बहन छोटी है। हम बने शादी नहीं किए। और उषा बहन भी बहुत सेवा की है। वो जो स्लम्स एरिया है ने उसमें काम किया है। उसमें जो बहनों को सिलाई सिखाती थी और गवर्नमेंट की जो योजना है ने वो बहनों तक पहुंचाती थी। कोई को सिलाई मशीन जो चाहिए वो देती थी। और फ्रीडम फाइटर ऑफिस में भी उसने काम किया। फ्रीडम फाइटर ऑफिस में जिसको पेंशन नहीं मिलता था उसको मिलाने के लिए वो प्रयत्न करती थी।
मंदाकिनी जी, आपने अभी भी बताया कि बहुत लोगों ने आपसे ये भी पूछा कि आप ऐसा क्यों कर रहे हो, आप बाइक क्यों चला रहे हो। तो हमें बताइए कि जब आप ऐसे मोटरसाइकिल चलाते हैं, साथ में चलाते हैं, तो क्या वो एहसास, क्या वो फीलिंग है?
देखो, चलाना तो बहुत छोटी उम्र से मेरे को इच्छा थी, लेकिन पैसा नहीं था इसके लाने के लिए। बट लेकिन 62 में मैंने बाइक लिया और जो पुराना था कोई किसी का, वो भी अपंग थी, वो बेचती थी, मैंने ले लिया। मैंने इसलिए लिया कि मेरे को उम्र बड़ी थी। मेरा एक्सीडेंट भी बहुत भयंकर हुआ है, इसलिए मेरे को ऐसा लगता है कि मैं स्कूटर ले लूं। और उसका स्कूटर मैंने लिया और 62 ईयर्स में स्कूटर सीख लिया। और बाद में मैं जो भी काम यहाँ का है, बाजार का है, गांव का है, कोई फंक्शन में जाने का है, तो सब जगह पर मैं और मेरी बहन भी साथ में आती थी।
मंदाकिनी जी, अब ये बताइए, क्योंकि आपकी जो वीडियोस हैं ऐसे वायरल हो गए हैं, सब इसके बारे में बात कर रहे हैं, आपने इंस्टाग्राम अकाउंट भी शुरू किया है, तो क्या आप ही वो इंस्टाग्राम अकाउंट चलाती हैं? क्या आपको कोई सहायता मिलती है? कोई आपकी वीडियोस बनाता है? इसके बारे में थोड़ा बताइए।
कोई दादी भी कहता, कोई माँ भी कहता था, ऐसा नहीं। अब क्या है कि पहला जो मेरा डिक्लेयर हुआ ना, तो 11.5 लाख लोग मेरे को देखा। 2 लाख लोगों ने ड्राइव किया और 10,000 लोगों ने इंटरनेट पर रखा।
मंदाकिनी जी, जब आपको लोगों ने इंटरनेट पे कूल दादी कह के बुलाना शुरू किया तो आपको कैसा लगा?
मेरे को अच्छा लगता, उम्र के साथ वो नाम बहुत अच्छा है। कोई दादी के बा के मेरे को अच्छा लगता है। कोई काकी भी कहते हैं।
अच्छा,
कोई आंटी भी कहते हैं।
जी, आपने कहा कि इस उम्र में कोई कूल दादी बोले तो अच्छा लगता है। उम्र के साथ बहुत लोग कहते हैं कि हौसला भी कम हो जाता है, उस बात पे आप क्या कहेंगे?
देखो, पहली बात तो है कि तुम मेरे को रास्ते में देखो ना, तो मेरे को ऐसा नहीं लगेगा कि ये उम्र वाली है। और मेरे को जो बाइक पर बैठती हूँ तब सब रोग चला जाता है। और एक अगत्य की बात ये कहूँ कि मेरा सिंपोजियम प्लेटिंग किया है, मेरा एक्सीडेंट हुआ है, लाखों केस में एक एक्सीडेंट होता है, उसमें मेरा नंबर आ गया। और मेरे ऊपर से नीचे तक मेरे सब पर कोई मुश्किल है। देखो, मेरे आंख में जामर है, श्वास का दर्द है, डाबा हाथ का हड्डी अच्छी नहीं है, और 2 पैर का ऑपरेशन हुआ है। और मध्य प्रदेश में जो सिंपोजियम प्लेटिंग किया है वो भी फेल हो गया है ना। ये सब गाउन गण के मैं स्कूटर चलाती हूँ।
जी, ये बात तो आपने बिल्कुल सही कही है कि आपकी कैसी भी हेल्थ कंडीशन हो, जब आपको कोई स्कूटर चलाते हुए देखता है तो बिल्कुल भी आपकी उम्र गेस नहीं कर सकता। थैंक यू सो मच मंदाकिनी जी एंड उषा जी फॉर जॉइनिंग अस ऑन द ब्रेकफास्ट क्लब। थैंक यू। All right, let's shift our attention with that to the world of auto. The 2026 Kia Seltos has arrived at a point where it can no longer live in the shadow of familiar rivals. Kia seems to be repositioning the Seltos as a confident standalone SUV rather than just an alternative. But does it really feel different behind the wheel? Has Kia finally cracked comfort without losing character? The overdrive verdict for you. Take a look.
can't begin reviewing the new Kia Seltos without talking about the Hyundai Creta. Because you see, the Creta is not just a bestseller, it's the reference point ever since crossovers and SUVs became popular. It's the kind of gravitational force that has shaped segments around it. You see, the sub 4 meter SUVs or crossovers, they aim to look more sophisticated by borrowing from the Creta. Even cars like the new Sierra, 70,000 bookings even without test drives, which means that even if Tata would have gone a size larger, based it on maybe the Safari platform, they would have still got big numbers. And yet they decide to go after the Creta size and the Creta pricing because that is where the big numbers are. Even brands with higher brand equity fail to really make an impact, are always on their back foot when they cross that Lakshman Rekha called the Creta, like Hyundai's own Tucson, or the Jeep Compass, or even the Citroën C5 Aircross. Not bad cars at all, and yet a lukewarm response. All because the Creta made the price point look awkward. And Kia's own Seltos, when it came out, it was based on the Creta underpinnings, not for some kind of a romantic relationship with the Creta, but because it knew that those underpinnings will give it that instant success. So much so that people brought it by the truckloads. Kia came out and said, "You love the Creta? Here, we'll turn it up, we'll give you more styling, more features, and we'll give you something that is genuinely more exciting." The new Seltos, however, now this one is not going to play catch up. This one is not trying to live in the shadow of the Creta. This wants to hold its own ground, make a name for itself, carve out a niche for itself. That is a tall order. Can it achieve it? Let's find out. Kia's opposites united design language has now reached the Seltos, and frankly, it looks at home here than it did on the Ceros. Those square bracket DRLs framing the headlights and the grille finally make sense on a larger body. The proportions absorb the drama a lot better, like they do with the flagship, the Telluride. But make no mistake, this is still the Seltos playing the evil sibling. Kia hasn't softened it up just because families are buying it. The stance is yet aggressive, the face is radical, and the detailing is unapologetically in your face. That will certainly split opinion, and Kia seems perfectly fine with that. Kia's iconic tiger nose, they say it's gone digital, doesn't mean that it lights up. It basically means that all these elements give it that pixelated kind of appearance. And I think as of now it looks quite good with that dark chrome, but it could quickly turn into a disaster if customers decide to change that with shiny chrome, because then it's going to look like something that belongs in your kitchen drawer, like a cheese grater. Ever since I've seen it, I've only been visualizing a big block of cheese going up and down that grill. I know you can't unsee it now. Truth be told, the new Seltos looks far better in darker colors. And you might actually like its imposing stance, even though it looks a bit compact in the pictures, all thanks to the low-set bonnet line. Down the sides, the gloss black finished cladding around the wheel arches and the rocker panels, that's like a double-edged sword. All the cladding around the wheel arches, etc., it aims to make these crossovers look more SUV-ish, more macho. Give them a matte treatment, they look rugged, but they also look weathered very quickly in our conditions, dusty and hard water, etc. Make it gloss, and well, gloss can get scratched even if you look at it wrong. So swirl marks is something that you need to watch out for. Add that intricate grille into the mix, that means you're probably going to end up dating your pressure washer because you're going to go there often. Trim levels, Tech Line, GT Line and X Line tweak the bumpers and the lighting signatures slightly, but the big picture remains the same. And what does quietly change are the aerodynamics. Kia has shaved the drag coefficient down from 0.34 to 0.31 with underbody work and a revised spoiler. You won't see it, but you will feel the benefits in refinement and more importantly in the efficiency. There's no powered tailgate, but the larger dimensions of the vehicle also give you more boot space now. So plenty of luggage space for your weekend's worth of luggage for the entire family. You also get a spare wheel under the floor, which is still the same width, but 1 inch smaller in the diameter. And there's also a subwoofer in there. And speaking of wheels, I also like how they have managed to make this cover on top of the lug nuts. I think it makes for a very clean, sophisticated design. Goes with the rest of the car. Dimensionally, this is where the Seltos makes its boldest treatment. It now sits right at the top of the mid-size SUV segment. It's longer, it's wider, and with 90mm more wheelbase than the Creta and the Victoris, plus a healthy 200mm of ground clearance. It feels almost like a segment plus offering, without going full Sierra and becoming physically intimidating. For many buyers, this will hit the sweet spot. More presence and space than its Korean twin without the visual and the physical bulk of something larger. I'd identified a problem with the flush door handles on the Syros, especially if you would walk with kids and luggage. They wouldn't pop out, you would have to manually unlock the car. With the Seltos, however, the moment you come close, it's got a proximity sensor, which means when you come close to the car, they will automatically pop out, like so. And despite the longer length of the car and the shorter height, it doesn't look like a raised MPV. It doesn't have a Kia Carens or Clavis Energy, which means that you get wider rear doors now. And despite the lower height, ingress and egress is not a problem because the hip point is now lower.
And moving on, young mountaineering prodigy Kamya Karthikeyan has been pushing long distances of more than a half marathon each day in harsh Antarctic conditions despite cold injuries, pulling huge loads behind her to inch closer to the South Pole. Listen in to her narrate day 5 and day 6 of her journey as she inches closer to accomplishing the Explorer's Grand Slam. Listen in.
Hi everyone, this is day 5 of the expedition to the South Pole, and today we covered a lot of distance in extreme cold, and we're currently more than halfway to the pole from the last degree. And for those of you that don't know, every degree is split into 60 minutes in terms of coordinates, and we're currently at 89 degrees and 32 minutes, so we have another 28 minutes or nautical miles to go to cover over the next 3 days. Today was a long day. We walked for over 7.5 hours and we had clear skies like you can see behind me. This is day 6 and we're currently at 89 degrees and almost 43 minutes. So we have another 17 nautical miles, and each nautical mile is about 1.8 kilometers left to go, and we'll be covering that over the next 2 days. Today was a long and tough day, and it started out very well. It was a Christmas miracle. We had clear skies, bright sun, little to no wind, but after the 4th hour of being out, things took a change for the worse, and we're in a whiteout like you can see, and have been ever since this afternoon, and it was a very tough and very, very, very cold day.
This is News 18 Network. India's largest news network.
A young life from India's northeast was lost not in a war zone or in a natural disaster, but on the streets of mainland India after standing up against racial abuse. Angel Chakma, MBA student from Tripura, succumbed to his injuries after being stabbed during a violent altercation triggered by racial slurs. His only fault was protesting when he and his younger brother were hurled racially motivated comments. Reportedly, he looked his attackers in the eye and said, "We are not Chinese, we are Indians." A simple assertion of belonging that became a tragic threshold between life and death. Uttarakhand's Chief Minister Pushkar Singh Dhami has assured of action, and 5 people have been arrested so far in the case. But the prime accused, who is reportedly from Nepal, is still on the run. Let's take a look.
कि जो जस्टिस चाहिए वो ज़रूर करेंगे. 5 आदमी अरेस्ट हुआ है और 1-2 शायद और बचा है और उनको पकड़ने के लिए ऑलरेडी लोग भेजा भी है और मेरे ख्याल से वो पकड़ा जाएगा। मैंने कहा किसी जगह में भी कुछ गैप नहीं होना चाहिए। उन्होंने मुझे एश्योरेंस किया है कि इन लोगों को जो जस्टिस देना है वो जस्टिस दिलाएंगे और उनको अभी 5 आदमी को अरेस्ट किया है।
ये जो दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण इंसिडेंट हो गया है तो इस पे पुलिस ने तत्काल कार्रवाई करते हुए उस पे जो भी इन्वॉल्व थे क्रिमिनल्स हैं जो उनको अरेस्ट कर ली गई है। एक फरार है उसके खिलाफ पकड़ने के लिए सारा प्रयास जारी है। 25,000 रुपया के इनाम भी घोषित हो गए हैं और टीमें भी बन गया है। और ये भी मुझे बताना है कि माननीय मुख्यमंत्री जी का निर्देश है सभी डिस्ट्रिक्ट एसपीज को है कि जो भी पूर्वोत्तर राज्य के हमारे यहाँ पे रह रहे हैं या काम कर रहे हैं या पढ़ाई कर रहे हैं जो है उनका सुरक्षा व्यवस्था को पूर्ण रूप से देख लिया जाए। दोबारा एक बार अलर्ट कराया जाएगा और जो भी ऐसे क्रिमिनल्स हैं जो भी कानून को अपने हाथ से लेके कानून व्यवस्था को बिगाड़ते हैं अब क्रिमिनल की एक्टिविटी करते हैं उनके खिलाफ सख्त कार्रवाई करने के लिए निर्देश दिए गए।
এঞ্জেল চাকমা নামে ছেলেটি আপনারা সকলে অবগত আছেন ওনাকে নৃশংসভাবে মারা হয়েছে। পরবর্তী সময় চিকিৎসাধীন অবস্থায় ও মারা গেছে। তো আমরা সেটার কঠোর শাস্তি দাবি করি এবং আমাদের রাজ্যের মুখ্যমন্ত্রী সেই রাজ্যের মুখ্যমন্ত্রীর সঙ্গে কথা বলেছেন এবং সেখানে 5 জনকে অ্যারেস্ট করা হয়েছে। বাকি 2 জন যতটুকু আমি শুনেছিলাম তারা একটি মাইনর এখনও তাদের বয়স 18 হয়নি। রাজ্যের মুখ্যমন্ত্রী সেটা নিয়ে উনি যোগাযোগ রাখছেন। আমরা চাই যারাই দোষী যারা কালপ্রিট একজন সুন্দর
Welcome back. We now bring to you a special section on financial markets powered by Money Control Pro, Money Control's premium destination for investing in business insights. First, GIFT Nifty indicates a flat opening for Indian markets. Today, US markets were flat over the weekend as volume subsided, a sentiment which we can see in India this week. Asian markets are trading marginally lower in morning trades and gold futures are trading lower while crude oil futures are trading higher in the derivative markets. Onto the lab-grown diamond sector. It looks very similar to natural diamonds and are nearly 80% cheaper. These diamonds are environmentally friendly as they are grown in factories and not mined. They also appeal more to youth given they are price friendly and can be chosen for everyday wear. Over the past 3 years, lab-grown diamonds have gained significant market penetration, especially in the US. So don't forget to log into Money Control Pro to find out more about India's gems and jewelry sector and other actionable insights on markets. Well, this Monday's episode was all about telling you through living examples that adventure knows no age. It was about giving the recognition our teachers across the country truly deserve. We hope we gave you the right start to your Monday. We'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place. Thanks for tuning in today. Bye-bye. Well, the Delhi High Court's recent decision to suspend former BJP MLA Sengar's life sentence.
The main stand that the High Court has taken is very sensitive for Sengar is not a problem. During the course of this entire matter, in the High Court, in the trial court, raises big questions upon the CBI. The major contention of the family was that there is a threat perception. The learned senior counsel for Mr. Sengar laid strong emphasis on the grant of benefit of suspension of sentence to the appellant on 4 previous occasions.
This is gate number 5 of the Delhi High Court, and I'm showing you the visuals where a lot of police presence is there, and these women, is carrying out this sort of protest against the court order.
This is News 18 Network. India's largest news network.
A young life from India's northeast was lost not in a war zone or in a natural disaster, but on the streets of mainland India after standing up against racial abuse. Angel Chakma, MBA student from Tripura, succumbed to his injuries after being stabbed during a violent altercation triggered by racial slurs. His only fault was protesting when he and his younger brother were hurled racially motivated comments. Reportedly, he looked his attackers in the eye and said, "We are not Chinese, we are Indians." A simple assertion of belonging that became a tragic threshold between life and death. Uttarakhand's Chief Minister Pushkar Singh Dhami has assured of action and 5 people have been arrested so far in the case. But the prime accused, who is reportedly from Nepal, is still on the run. Let's take a look.
कि जो जस्टिस चाहिए वो ज़रूर करेंगे। 5 आदमी अरेस्ट हुआ है और 1-2 शायद और बचा है और उनको पकड़ने के लिए ऑलरेडी लोग भेजा भी है और मेरे ख्याल से वो पकड़ा जाएगा। मैंने कहा किसी जगह में भी कुछ गैप नहीं होना चाहिए। उन्होंने मुझे एश्योरेंस किया है कि इन लोगों